Oh, it is Wednesday night. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I hope I got this right. Oh yeah, I think I do. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Y'all get up in here. What y'all doing tonight? Probably nothing. Get on in here. Get in here. Get in here. Everybody come on and get in here. Hey Bree, how you doing today? How are you? What is going on? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Everybody come on and get in here. We ain't got all night. Come on, get in here. I'm good and you, bestie. I am doing absolutely marvelous. And thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. So what is going on? Look, summer is just around the corner. I got a summer wedding to go to that I am excited about. My nephew is getting married in June, or is it no, July, right after my birthday. And I'm ready because I get to get out of town and have me a little bit of fun with my family. So y'all get on in here. What y'all doing? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? Y'all get up in the chat and let me know how y'all doing. Sandra, bestie, I had dinner. Okay, that's what's up. I hope you good and full. And I hope you be on your best behavior. Mm-hmm. King of YouTube says hi. Hi, King of YouTube. How are you doing this evening? How is everything going? What's going on with you? Glad to see you in the chat. King of YouTube says good. That's great. Now, look, if y'all see me looking to the side, I'm trying to read the comments because sometimes I catch it trying to see on this phone. So I got my little laptop here so that I can see the comments a little better just in case I can't see them on here. So King of YouTube, back to you. I'm so glad you're here and I'm so glad you are in the chat because tonight we gon' chop it up. So if you got anybody you want to invite in the chat, tell them to come on in because you might need a little help tonight. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Y'all men might need a little help. Let's see who else come on in here. Everybody come on and get in here. We ain't got all night. Come on, get in this chat. Y'all come on and get in here, get in here. What is everybody doing? What is going on? We've been in here, what, about a minute or so? Where everybody at? If y'all got some people y'all want to invite in, y'all tell them to come on. Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. I want to hear what y'all got to say tonight. And I hope Boss Dog get his behind in this chat tonight. Because I don't know, I think I'm going to wait for Boss Dog a couple of days to address him and his foolery. Because it's still sinking in. So I'm just, yeah. Let me just see if Boss Dog get in the chat. Bree says, Sandra, bestie, I had rice, vegetables, and meat. Well, sound like a balanced meal to me. Tell the Lord thank you because some people ain't had that. Some people just did have rice. Okay. Sound like a balanced meal to me. Matter of fact, everybody ought to be done ate dinner by now. If you live in my time zone, I should say. Because sometimes we have people from everywhere getting up in here. But tonight, I hope King of YouTube still in the comments. Tonight, we're going to talk about healing. Last night, the discussion was how to get over heartbreak quickly. Everybody, well, some of us had different opinions. Hey, Isaiah, how you doing? Stick around because these men gonna need some help tonight, okay? I just got a feeling. Don't you go nowhere. Because last night we talked about how to get over heartbreak quickly. And it went pretty good, but at the end of the day, we all tended to agree. you know that it's no quick journey. It is no quick journey, but it starts with self-reflection. So tonight, we're going to piggyback off that a little bit, and we're going to talk about healing. How do you start to heal your broken heart? Hey, Toya Slay, how you doing? Y'all, Toya is under the weather. I feel so sorry for her. I wanted to go over there so bad, but Lord knows I don't want to be sick. So, girl, you know I love you, but I don't want none of that you got. But you know I love you. But yeah, tonight, okay, Isaiah says, hey, Bree. And Bree says, hey, Toya. Toya says, hey, Bree. That's what's up. Tonight, we're going to talk about, like I said, last night, the conversation was about how to get over heartbreak quickly. And we all agreed that there's no quick route. As for some of us, I should say. Now, some people was like, just get another one. But you know, like the old people used to say back in the day, quickest way to get over one, get with another one. But it is what it is. Toya says, I love you too. I'm still on the girl. I feel so sorry for you. Whew. But anyway, but you know how you got sick. Yeah. You got sick from a super spreader that knew they was sick and brought their behind. We're gonna leave that alone. But and then anyway, we're gonna leave that alone, y'all. We're gonna leave Toya alone. But she got sick from it was just unnecessary. It come a time where you just gotta stay your behind home. You ain't got to be around people. Stay home. If you know you're not feeling good, you know you under the weather, you know you feel some type of way, you got a sore throat, or you know it's itching a little bit, stay home. Stay away from the crowd, because you're gonna get up in there with them people and you're gonna have everybody unnecessarily sick. And people got lives. Ain't nobody got time for that. I got these people sick. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. So Bree says, bestie, I messaged you today. How you message me? I don't know how, because I don't have no type of inbox on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I don't even think they do that on here, but okay. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. Tonight, we're going to talk about how do you start to heal your broken heart. It just come a time when your partner, after so many years, as my friend, 12 years, just straight up told her, I don't want you no more. I'm done with you. I done got with somebody else. Mind you, y'all living in the same house. You thinking everybody good, but I'm sure you had some red flags. You thinking everybody good, everything going all right. And out of nowhere, he said he don't want her. So he moved on. Unfortunately, she is brokenhearted because she still loves him. So now we're going to talk about, how do you heal a broken heart? I want to hear some comments. I want to hear what y'all got to say, because I have my way of thinking. I got my opinion. But tonight, the chat is about, how do you start to heal your broken heart? Even though you still in love with this person, you got to move on and heal your broken heart. You got to start doing the work. Last night, we talked about reflection when it comes down to start to getting over it. You got to start with reflection and looking at yourself. Yeah. Toya said, have a spirit of discernment while you in the relationship, so you won't end up in this position. But now, let's get into it about how you finna heal this broken heart after being pretty much dumped out of nowhere. Nobody said nothing. Nobody told you nothing. Homeboy got caught with another woman, and now she is stuck trying to pick up the pieces. Roger Henderson says, hi, beautiful. Hello, Roger. How are you? And how you doing today? The subject of tonight, I'm not sure. I think you was here last night. Last night, the subject was, how do you get over heartbreak quickly? Well, of course, can't get over heartbreak quickly, but you do have to start to refocus on yourself. Yeah. So now tonight, the subject is, how do you start to heal your broken heart? Let's see. Toya says set boundaries and reconnect with yourself. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Now I'm in agreement with that. But yeah, I am totally in agreement with that because this is the thing. A lot of times in relationships, we don't set boundaries. We are too nice. We are too kind. We do entirely too much. We even do what we are not even asked to do. We go above and beyond the call of duty when this fool ain't even ask you for none of that. You're just being nice. You being sweet. As somebody said in the chat last night, you being submissive. And that causes you to get your heart broke. So now you got to heal your broken heart. Yeah, we don't set boundaries. So now it's like Toya said, yeah, it's time to set some boundaries and reconnect with yourself. Bree says, Sandrell, bestie, I used to have boyfriend, he broke up with me. He was playing with my feelings. Well, maybe he did the right thing. Good for you if he broke up with you. Toya says, I know that all too well. Ooh. Well, I'm gonna tell you something, Toy. You ain't in this by yourself because a lot of us deal with broken hearts. Yeah, we all do. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Nobody is immune to having a broken heart one way or another. Now you can get to a certain age where can't nothing nobody do really affect you to a certain extent, except for maybe your children, your family. But as far as a man, mm-mm. Or a woman, if you are a man, no, it's not going to affect you because you know who you are. You know who you are. You know the value that you bring to the table. And no, you ain't going. Bree says, Sandra, bestie, I love you. I'm sorry, y'all. I love you so much. Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Bree. Toya says, I also think that we have to get back to loving ourselves properly and affirming ourselves. And you are so right because in a relationship, unfortunately, we look toward the other person to affirm us. We look to the other person to affirm us, which also can affect our heart because a lot of times they don't. They don't. Because at the end of the day, they didn't care enough too. So and don't get me wrong, the relationship starts out good. It starts out great. Oh yeah. In the beginning, we getting along, everything fine. We loving on each other. Oh goodness, it's a whole party. And before you know it, yeah, somebody gonna end up with a broken heart. Somebody gonna end up with a broken heart. But how do we heal that broken heart? Y'all get in the chat and let me know what y'all think. Like Toya said, she says she also feels that you need to get back to loving yourself properly and affirming yourself. And also to piggyback on that, yeah, we give up ourselves in relationships. We neglect ourselves in relationships. Adama Nabal, am I reading that right? Adama Nabi says cove. Now, Adama, I have no idea what cove means, but how you doing? How are you doing? And let me just let you know that tonight's chat, we are talking about healing your broken heart. Bree says, Sandra, bestie, you look natural, pretty with your hair. You go, Sandra. But thank you, sweetie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And while y'all in here, y'all make sure y'all tap that like button or tap that screen twice so the like button can appear. But how do you start to heal your broken heart? Well, I got a suggestion, but I'm gonna wait on y'all. We gonna get where Isaiah at. Isaiah, where you at? Tell us how. What is your suggestion to how you heal or start to heal your broken heart? We talked about self-reflection last night, which is a good one. Adama says, I have no idea what that means, Odama. I don't know. Bessie says, double tap the screen, like the comment, and subscribe. Yes, y'all, please do. And y'all join the conversation because I want to know y'all thoughts. How do you begin to heal your broken heart? After this person has totally disrespected you, has just dumped you, has left you out in the cold, you got to get over your emotions. And that's my first suggestion. Get over your emotions. You got to look, unpack it and get over it, because you got to move on at some point. But right now, you got to heal. How do you heal a broken heart? Let me cut my phone on do not disturb, because they done already started texting me. How do you heal? Where do broken hearts go? How do you heal a broken heart? Back to the open arms of the love that, look, and that's the wrong thing to do, because a lot of us tend to do that. We tend to be so broken. I have even seen some people beg. They actually beg the ex-partner to take them back. Wrong mistake, because now both of y'all finna get back in the same situation, and guess what? He finna do the same thing to you. Oh yeah, only this time he gonna double down, and it's gonna be worse. Yeah, it's gonna be even worse. He's gonna break your heart again. So now you gotta start the process all over again, back in trouble with your broken heart. But ain't nobody told you to take your behind back over there. You should have stayed over there with them and them. You shouldn't have went back over there with this fool. You should have stayed where you was at, because now you back in the same situation. Now you got to start self-reflecting all over again. At that point, everybody just picking at you, because they like, you know what? We don't want to hear nothing you got to say, because you went through all of that, and now you turned around and you went back to this clown. You went right back to what broke you. And now you want to come back after they done broke you again, and come back around here and talk about him again, and take us through this whole situation all over again, when all you had to do was stay over behind where you was at and leave him alone. You left him alone the first time. You should have left him alone again. But anyway, we do know going back is not the way to heal a broken heart. Bree says, Sandra, bestie, I fed my dog. Bree, you got to follow the chat tonight. You got to follow the chat tonight. You cannot be offset in the chat. Follow the chat, okay? Follow the chat, please. Toya Slay says, can't be taken serious. Not no more. You did it once. Why would you do it again? Yeah, you are absolutely right. You cannot take them serious. But unfortunately, some people do, because they just that broken on the inside. Because here it is, you have not self-reflected. So now you're going back over here to the same nut that tore your heart up the first time. You're going back over here, and you finna get the same results. But like a wise man used to tell me, that's what you get. Because you ain't had no business going back over there. He broke your heart one time, or she broke your heart one time. Why would you go back to do it all over again? Why do you think that this person is... That man told you straight to your face he didn't want you. And you're going to go back to the same one who looked you dead in your eyes and told you they didn't want you? For what? No. Don't you go back over there. Stay over there and continue to try to heal your broken heart. But I'm just going to tell y'all, in my opinion, after you have self-reflect, you know what you're going to have to do? During your self-reflection, I'm hoping you have told yourself the truth. Told yourself the truth and taking responsibility for your part, especially when you abandon your discernment and your intuition. All of that is in our self-reflection process. You looking at you and getting to see you for who you truly are and what you did. Hey, Sophia, how you doing? What's going on? Tonight, the question is, how do you heal your broken heart? How do you heal your broken heart when somebody done snapped it in two? But yeah, hopefully in your self-reflection, you have already started to tell yourself the truth, and you have accepted responsibility for your actions, for dealing with the foolishness, for ignoring the red flags. Yeah. During your self-reflection process, you're going to have to go through all of that. You're going to have to look yourself in the mirror and be able to tell yourself the truth. But let me tell you, once you have done that and you have accepted your part in the situation, you have accepted what you've done, you have accepted that the situation is over, and you got to go on and get yourself together, that's when it's time for you to start your healing process. And I'm sorry to tell y'all, and I know a lot of y'all not going to agree with me, but what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to forgive. If you truly want to heal your broken heart, baby, you're going to have to forgive. GXSR Junkie says another barren left hand, whatever that means. But how you doing, GFX Junkie? And I hope you having a great day. And the question of the night is, how do you start to heal your broken heart? But anyway, yeah, you're going to have to forgive. But I'm going to tell you something. Forgiveness is a process. I got a video about that. The process of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a process and it don't come boop. First, a lot of y'all ain't gonna agree with me, but you gonna have to fall on your knees and you gonna have to ask God to forgive you. Toya says, yes, you have to forgive them and yourself. Let me tell you, first you're gonna have to fall on your knees and you're gonna have to ask God to forgive you. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to purge that thing. You're gonna have to ask God to forgive you, and you're gonna have to get it all out, because at the end of the day, you betrayed yourself, his creation. Yeah, because this life is a gift. Therefore, the gift he gave you, you dishonored it. You abandoned. You abandoned yourself. You abandoned the discernment that he gave you, and you abandoned your spirit that was within. You abandoned it all. Therefore, that's the first part of the process of healing your broken heart. You're going to have to go to God and you're going to have to ask him to forgive you for your transgressions that you did to you first. But this is the thing. When you go to God and you ask him for forgiveness, guess what? You ask and it is forgiven. You are forgiven. If you went with a humble heart, you are forgiven. He got you. You forgiven. You heal by accepting the truth. They did what they did. You did what you did. It is what it is. That's real good now. That's good, GXSR. Oh, yeah. And you're right. Girl Bright says, where are you from? I am from America. I am in Southeast Georgia. I'm actually from Miami, Florida, born and raised. But yeah, once you have asked God for forgiveness, that is your forgiveness process to heal your broken heart. Girl Bright said, and what are you teaching about? Well, we having a conversation about how to heal your broken heart. Last night, the conversation was how to get over heartbreak quickly. We all agreed it's no quick process. So tonight, we talking about, okay, how do you start the healing process? Let's do it. You got to heal. Therefore, first you got to do, you done already went through the reflection process. That was yesterday. We talked about that. You done accepted in yourself what you did, like GXR say. Look, what did you do to contribute to this? Now you got to go through the process of forgiveness. You got to go to God and you got to ask him for forgiveness. Once you ask, you have been forgiven. He forgive you for all that you did to dishonor yourself, his creation. Yeah, he done forgave you. Now that you have asked him for forgiveness, now you got to forgive yourself. Because let's remember, you done self-reflected. Now you got to forgive yourself. You got to look yourself in the mirror and say, I forgive me. I forgive me for what I allowed myself to go through. I forgive me for all that I allowed myself to take and accept and endure. Yeah, I was a part of my broken heart. I contributed to it. Yes, I did. And I forgive myself for putting myself in that situation that I didn't have to be in the first place. Sure didn't. Didn't even have to be there. Nah, Some of y'all ain't gonna agree with me, but yeah, it's time. Once you done forgave yourself, you done went to God, you done asked him for forgiveness. You forgiven just because you ask. Then you're gonna forgive yourself. Yeah. All of this is a process and it don't come overnight. And after that is over, you know what? You're gonna have to forgive them. You don't accept the responsibility for your part and what you did. So now you're going to have to forgive them. Even if they didn't ask you for forgiveness, which they not, because as far as they concerned, they left you high and dry for this reason, for that reason, when really and truly it was their own selfish reason why they left you high and dry. But they not man or woman enough to admit that. They ain't man or woman enough to admit that. Give Bright says that's a very nice topic. Well, you know what? Get down in these comments and tell me what you think. Okay, GX, well, I'm gonna call you Junkie. Junkie says, if we're being real though, you never heal from heartbreak. Yes, the pain subsides, but the scar is permanent. Much like an actual open wound of your body. Ooh, now that's deep. That is deep. I'm going to say this to that. And Give Bryce says, forgiveness is divine. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Junkie says, it heals. The pain goes away, but the scar is going to be there and the memory of it. Well, you could be right, but I'm going to tell you something, Junkie. It's a choice. We got to make the choice to choose us first and forgive that person. It's a process. And it's not easy. Lord knows, forgiving somebody for something that they did to you. And this is the thing, like a person said, I didn't intentionally hurt you. I didn't mean to, but you didn't intentionally not to hurt me. You didn't mean not to hurt me. So you cannot say you did not what was your intentions? Because when you was doing what you was doing behind my back, you did not think of me. You did not take me into consideration. So really and truly, what was your intentions? Junkie says, that's why I say you never fully recover. I don't know, because I'm going to tell you something. Sophia says, hey, Pookie. Now, hey, Sophia, I don't know if you calling me Pookie, but hey. But, you know what? I have had a broken heart. And honestly and truly, I got over it. But this was my process. I had to get to the point where I had to accept what I had did and the part I played in that tumultuous relationship and the fact that I stayed there and knew I had no business there in the first place. That be the thing. You ain't got no business with that person in the first place, and you stay there and you take it and you endure. You make excuses. You try to understand. You know, you try to change them. You try to make it right. You try to work it out. You ain't had no business there, because love ain't that hard. Love is not that hard. Oh my gosh. It ain't that much work. Don't get me wrong, relationships are work, but dog, you this hard to love that you got to take me up, down the street and round the corner? No, I ain't have no business being here. But I dishonored myself by dealing with your mess. So now I got to go, and I see that. I see me, and I know that. Therefore, now I got to go to God and ask him for forgiveness, because you done broke my heart. I'm in two. Yeah. So now I got to go to God and ask him for forgiveness. Then I got to forgive myself. And now I got to forgive the person. If you truly, and see, that's the thing about it, Junkie. A lot of times that be the setback. We don't forgive the person. We forgive ourselves. We ask God for forgiveness. We free ourselves. but we don't free that person from our heart because we still feel some type of way. Y'all better get in this chat and let me know what y'all thinking. Look, and if you don't agree with me, I'm fine with that. We can chop it up about that too. But yeah, you gotta self-reflect. Once you have self-reflect and you take responsibility for what you did in that situation, you got to ask God for forgiveness. You got to forgive yourself. Now you have to totally submit to your feelings and forgive that person. And like I said, it's a process. It does not come overnight. Oh my gosh. Forget, especially if you still having contact with that person. Now, if you still having contact with that person, you ain't doing nothing but stirring up a pot of you know what stew. Okay? And when that sucker blow, oh my gosh, it's gonna blow. And you gonna be in trouble. Matter of fact, both of y'all gonna be in trouble. Because when it hit the fan, baby, oh my goodness. It's going down because you're going to click and you're going to act a fool, which going to give you a whole setback. And you're going to have to start it all over again because now you still feel some type of way and that person can still get in your head. No, you got to forgive them for breaking your heart. You got to forgive them. They did what they did. They had their way. They did you how they did. And you got to forgive them for breaking your heart. And that's the hardest thing to do. Marcus Tube says, it is my birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Marcus. Happy birthday to you. Marcus, get down in the chat and tell me what you think. How do you get over a broken heart? How do you start the process? In my opinion, to start the process, you done already self-reflect. Yeah. Nah, you got to forgive. Stop dibbling and dabbling with this person. It come a time where you just got to go ghost. Don't even have no conversation with them. Period. Until you have truly healed. Do not mix and mingle because it's only going to make your heart grow sick. Don't do it to yourself. It ain't worth it. No, let them go on while you get yourself together. Once you have healed, Marcus said, don't have no conversation with them. Whatever way. Let me look over here. Don't have no conversation with them. You know what you should do when you get done breaking up with somebody. Go to the name of God, to the name of Amen. Yeah. And ask him to forgive you. Forgive you. Because you belong to God. And you have defiled his creature. Yeah. Isaiah says, you start the process of lack of communication. Amen. And see, that's where we go wrong at. That's where a lot of people go wrong at because you still dibbling and dabbling with this nut and he ain't gonna do nothing. When you continue to dibble and dabble with them, you give them the permission to start doing you the same way they did the last time. And your heart is so conditioned that you're gonna take it. That's why, like Isaiah said, and that's why like Junkie said, and somebody else said, hey, you got to leave that alone. Stay from over there. Stop dibbling and dabbling with them people. Go ghosts. Ain't no need in blocking them. Because I have tried that before. And before you know it, you be done block them from 10 different numbers. And they still find somewhere to call you. Marcus Tubbs says, my real name is Victorious. Okay, Victorious. That's what's up. Pretty name. But yeah. Jean Marco says, hello from France. Nice to see everyone. Hey, Jean, how you doing? You missed the chat last night. But tonight, the chat is about how to start healing your broken heart. Last night we talked about getting over heartbreak quickly. And unfortunately, there is no quick route. So tonight we are talking about how to start to heal. How do you start to heal your broken heart? We all done been there. And I like the fact that you all are saying, wait a minute, Bree says Sandra Bestie's sorry. I don't know what you did, but it's fine, honey. Um, YBDJC says, hey JC, how you doing? But yeah, you got to stop all communication if you truly want to heal. Now, if you want to keep dibbling and dabbling with this person and you want to play the game, have at it. But if you really want to get past it and grow, and don't let the same thing keep happening to you over and over, which also tells me that you ain't even went through the self-reflection process. No, you ain't did nothing for yourself. You ain't looked yourself in the face. You ain't told yourself the truth. You ain't been honest with yourself. You playing. You are playing. Therefore, yeah, they gonna get you again. G. Marco says, sorry for missing last night. I was asleep. Look, I do understand, Jean. I really do. And thank you again so much for joining us in Stay Fly the other night. I really appreciate that. But yeah, stay away from that person. JC said, hi, JC. Stay away from that person because you only going to have the same thing happen to you again. And they're going to make a fool out of you. Now, if you okay with that, that's on you. But if you truly want to heal, you better keep it moving. You better keep it moving and start your healing process, which is reflection and then forgiveness. Bree says, Jean, I am on the phone. It blew and okay. Start your forgiveness. And it's a process. But guess what? It's so worth it because it is good for the soul. Jean says, when I got my heart broken, I snapped. Whoa, I jumped from woman to woman for one reason. Wait a minute. For one reason for 2 months, 2 to 3 months. It took me years to realize how nasty and dangerous that was. And guess what? It didn't help. We talked about that last night. Sure did. Hey, JC says, how are you today? I am doing absolutely marvelous. Adama, hey, that's all I can say because I don't know what that means. But yeah, thank you for that comment, JC. And see, that's the thing. You admitted it. You admitted jumping from woman to woman to woman, and it took you long enough to realize that was nasty. And at the same time, when we do that, because yesterday in the chat, somebody has said that, matter of fact, that was the first answer to heal from heartbreak quickly, get you somebody else. Like you said, it didn't help at all. Isaiah says that was the Romans. Yes, because it's a setback. Because the problem is you taking your same self into another situation and the same thing gonna happen. And you gonna get your heart broke again. You gonna keep getting set up over and over again until you self-reflect. It's gonna happen over and over again. Junkie said I had to look in the mirror. Amen. That's right. You got to get to a place where you ready. You got to be ready now. You got to be ready to fix you. And thank God you got to that place. Donnie D. The Goodness says, can we hear a true story from you? Woo. I don't even know which one. Shoot. Jean says, I am sorry on the StreamYard thing. I was not looking. You are fine, Jean. I couldn't tell you wasn't looking your best with the people sub. You are none of us was. You are fine. You are fine. I just thank you for helping me out. That's all. Marcus says, if you break up with somebody and you get back with them, it's going to make it worse. They're going to break up back with you. Woo. Is it going to start all over? It's okay. It's going to start all over again and you're out. You ruin your whole life. Yeah. Yeah. At that time, until you decide that you're ready to move on, that you're ready to get you right. Because going backwards, you know what's back there. You can't go backwards. You got to keep it moving. Junkie says, I had no feeling. I was cold. Woman to woman was just a distraction for the pain. Junkie, I'm going to tell you this. And I feel like I speak for all of us. Y'all put an amen in the chat. It happens to the best of us. We all have done it. We all have been through it. We all have tried that method and it never works. What have you been doing today? Getting it in, JC. Just getting it in. Junkie says, once I looked in on myself, I was able to forgive and let go. That's the first part of the process. That is the first part. Jean says, only the people in the hood know true love and hardship, as there are hoods all over the world with people trying to make a life. All right, Jean. Speaking up one time for the hood. One time for the hood. Well, like Jean said, we are from all walks of life and we all know heartbreak. But I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people will intentionally just do what they want to do with you because they don't value life. They don't value love and they don't value you. And in the beginning, you got to be able to see that person for who they truly are. Of course, we want to look at the good. But the one thing we're going to have to do in the beginning, we're going to have to stop falling in love with potential. Potential got to go. Potential has to go. We have to stop falling in love with the potential of a person. Oh, they could be a doctor. I see them being a preacher. Oh, she could be a good nurse. She's so caring. Oh, he could be a great teacher because, he talked to kids. So they ain't nothing and they ain't no good and you better accept it. And you got two choices, stay or go. Point blank, stay or go. Jean says, amen. All right, Jean. Marcus says, if you want to date somebody, you have to know them. You have to get to know them. You have to know that you're not a criminal. You have to know they're not going to break your heart or anything. And as you are dating this person, you have to pay close attention. Watch their language. Even when you dating and you on a date, watch how they talk to the waitress and how they deal with a person and how they talk down to a person. Whether they speak or not when they walk into a room. That says a lot about that character. It says a lot about who that person truly is. Because I'm going to tell you something. When you sit back and you watch people treat other people bad, eventually it's going to be your turn. Oh, it's a matter of time. It's going to be your turn. You might well buckle up, buttercup, because it's coming. Because a person who is mean to people and treat people wrong, they do that to everybody. They just masking it towards you for right now. Because like I said in the beginning, it's always peaches and cream. But it takes a minute. A little bit of them will start to come out. But you got to pay attention. And like Marcus said, you got to get to know that person. And somebody said last night, get to know their family. Check out their friends. Figure out the people that they hang around. You got to get to know all of this stuff because I'm telling you, people do not set out to do everybody right. Some people just have bad intentions from day one and they don't care. But once you have gone through your process of forgiveness, it's time to glow up. It is time to glow up. Jean says, I am luck if My date even turns up when you hit over 50. Oh my goodness. Well, I'ma just tell you the truth, Gene. When you over 50, the dating pool got pee in it. Okay, and sometimes, like they say, a little bit of doo-doo. Yeah, it's slim and trim out here. But that's okay. Because if you desire love, oh, it will come. Uh-huh. It'll come. Marcus says, we all have bad words. Some some are criminals. Wait a minute, where'd you go? Wait, what happened? If you want, wait, no. What you did? Took it down? What happened? Oh, he retracted. No wonder I can't see it. But yeah, Gene, if you truly desire love, trust me, it will come. Just hold on. It's coming. Don't even worry about it. It's coming. The comment was I know, right? And it seemed like a good comment. I don't know why he retracted it. But okay. JC says I'm back. So once you have gone to God, you done ask for forgiveness, you forgive yourself, you done forgave that person. Now it's time for the glow up. Now it is time to get you together. Oh yeah, it's time to get you together, because this is the thing. It's time to spoil yourself. It's time to do all the things everything that you pour into that bad relationship, give it to you now. It's your turn. Jean says, well, in over 50, dating close to 60, I'm just looking for genuine people. That's right. And that's what you want. And as long as you genuine, like you said the other night, you got to be yourself. As long as you genuine and you be yourself, that's what you will attract. Somebody who is genuine and willing to be themselves, and somebody that's going to love you right. Yeah, we teach people how to treat us by the way we treat ourselves. I'm a big girl. I'm a thick girl. And I used to say, I'm big, I'm fat. Not no more. I'm fine. I love me. I got it going on. Because when people start hearing that, they start to replicate it. They start seeing me that way. So I had to stop doing that. YBD, welcome back. Okay, Marcus says, my TT didn't find the right boy because she was 27 years old and she showed up and he brought her old flowers that have mold on what there. He told her she was too ugly for him, but but look at her now. Yeah, he was wrong for that. See, that's that narcissistic silliness right there. Let me tell you something. Instead of a red flag, that was a red blanket. She shouldn't have wanted no parts of that nut. He was a fool. How you gonna tell somebody they too ugly for you to date? Why you over here with your moldy flowers? Going on. Where you was? No. Get from around here. She should. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you gotta know how to get people off you. She should have went slap off on him. She should have clicked. Like old boy said earlier, he snapped. Jean says, yes, like we said the other night, to be happy with what God has given you and be happy within yourself. That's right. Because now, that's right, Jean, because now, look, you done went through the process. Now the glow up has started. Therefore, now it's all about you. It is all about you, and you are in the process of attracting who you are. You are in the process of attracting the person that's going to treat you right. You're going to have your boundaries. Yeah. Put your boundaries in place. Know what you're willing to accept. Know what you're willing to deal with. Don't accept foolishness from nobody, because nobody's worth it. Those are the type of people that will break your heart and leave you high and dry and think nothing of it. We can't do that. We cannot allow ourselves to continue to make the same mistakes over and over. And I see it. Let me tell you, I see it every day, all the time. All the time. People tend to make the same mistakes. And like I always tell them, it happens to the best of us. But you get to the point where you become tired. You become tired. You want to do better for yourself. So through your glow up process, invest in you. Love on you. Spend some time with you. Get to know you. That way you don't make the same mistake again with somebody else. Because if you take your same self into a different situation, the same thing is going to happen. Therefore, when it comes to heartbreak, it's a process. And you're going to have to go through the process and you're going to have to trust the process. Look up my TT now. Okay. I think you mean look at my TT now. She's a boss of her own company. I don't even know what her company is called, but yeah, she's a boss and she a good person and she got a man and a good one. That's how it always happens. Like they say, one man's junk is another man's treasure. Okay? That's why you can't stay fixated on somebody that's willing to break your heart and treat you wrong and do you bad and drag you through the mud and make you feel less than who you are. When a person shows you that they are not for you, don't question it. Don't question it. We have so many signs that we just ignore and we continue to move forward because we make all these excuses and tell ourselves all these lies. Tell yourself the truth. He ain't no good. He ain't worth nobody having. He ain't even worth the bottom of your shoe. She ain't right. She ain't gonna never do you right or him right or anybody else right. So why continue to be bothered? Let him go. Yes, and don't waste your time on the wrong person. Amen. We do it every day. We do it all the time. And that is a mind space that we are going to, as people, have to get out of. There is somebody out here for everybody. It's somebody here for everybody. For everybody, regardless to what season of your life you in. But what you don't have to do is take crap from nobody. You ain't got to take that. No. If you being mistreated and you being drugged and you being dogged out, you better off by yourself. You better off by yourself, loving on yourself, treating yourself right, and making yourself a priority. Because one thing we got to realize, you are a priority and nobody's option. Bree says, sorry, Bestie, my mom yelled at me to do the dishes. You are fine, Bree. It's just fine. But yeah, you ain't nobody option. If a person cannot make you a priority, refuse to be their option. Go where you are celebrated and appreciated. And when you get there, stay there. When you find that one that is willing to treat you right, stay there. Because like I tell people, two things in a relationship with me ain't going to happen. Number one, I'm not going to kiss your butt. And I ain't going to give you mine to kiss. Don't kiss nobody behind. Ever. If you in a situation where a person is giving you their behind the kiss, no, it's time to go. Now, if it's your husband or your wife, you don't just walk out the door. Now, you need to set that straight and y'all work it out because there's something going on in a relationship that probably needs to be fixed. But if this just your girlfriend or your boyfriend or go on. No. I'm looking for my charger. Don't accept that. No, let them go. Find you somebody that's going to appreciate you and love on you and do you right. No. Do not allow yourself to be treated wrong by nobody. I don't care who they is. You don't want nobody that bad. I'm looking for my charger. Uh-oh. Yeah, you don't want nobody that bad. Because you're worth more than that. You are so worth more than that. Do not allow nobody to treat you any kind of way. And don't you treat nobody else any kind of way either. Now, don't get it twisted. It ain't for you to do just like it ain't for you to take. Because one thing about it, people tend to dish what they can't take. No. Marcus says somebody that's dating you or married married you, they should already know the things that you don't like if they do. Whew, that if they do that and they know that you don't like that. Yeah, and they do it anyway. A part of your privacy too. And yeah, they do it anyway. Some people just set out to hurt you, but you got to know the difference. You got to know the difference in who is for you and who is not, and you have to figure it out real quick. Don't allow yourself to live in confusion. Don't do that. Do not allow yourself to live in confusion because nobody is worth that. Nobody is worth that. Don't allow yourself to be treated wrong by nobody. It come a time where you got to throw your hands up and you got to go. Come get him, please. You got to throw your hands up and you got to go. Because at the end of the day, you got to choose you. You have to choose yourself and choose yourself every day. Bree says, Bessie Sandra, I'm turning 17. Okay. Yeah, you got to choose yourself. You have to choose you. Put you first in a relationship. Set boundaries. Don't allow nobody to trample over you because I'm going to tell you something. The same thing we talking about going through heartbreak. Yeah, you're going to be red. Yeah, we're going to have to call you to the front and everybody going to have to huddle around you and we're going to be trying to get you through the heartbreak. And we don't want that. We want to avoid the heartbreak. Okay? Avoid heartbreak. And for me, the number one way to avoid heartbreak is create value in yourself. Love you first in spite of all. Love you first, always. Marcus says, I'm turning 13. Y'all a trip. Have at it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Love you first. Love you first. And as long as you love you first, everything else will fall into place. Okay? So y'all, to get over heartbreak, self-reflect, go through the forgiving process, then it's time for the glow up. Choose you and treat you right. I love y'all. I hope everyone is having a great night. Bree says I'm turning 35. I hope everyone is having a great night. I thank y'all so much for meeting me here. I thank y'all so much for all the comments. Okay? And listen, y'all know I got to say, good night, sweetheart. Oh, it's time to go. Oh, good night, sweetheart. Oh, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Here go Bella, y'all. Bella, you want to sing, Bella? Come on. We're going to let Bella sing before we go. Thank you for the meeting with everyone. Yes, yes. And thank you for coming, Jean. Yes, yes, yes. And thank y'all so much for supporting me. I love y'all. Come on, y'all. We're going to let Bella sing. Bella. Oh, no. Oof. Yeah. She done blew her time. Nuh-uh. She know better. But anyway, y'all have a good night. Bestie forever, Sandra Bestie. Yes, y'all have a good night. Y'all have some sweet dreams. Don't give up your sense of discernment. Always choose you first. And if you ever going through heartbreak, come back and watch this live because we going to get you through it. Okay? It's a journey. But the worst thing you can do is get over one person by getting with another one. Don't do that to yourself. Jean Marco says, we hope and pray for everyone. Yes, we do, Jean, and thank you so much for that. Marcus says, and if you're married or if you're dating someone, they tell you to like rob the bank or something or like to something very, very bad for them, even though you're dating him, do not do a bad thing. You would be crazy and a fool if you did. You would be a fool to do something you know better than to do for somebody else. Okay? That's crazy. So, y'all have an awesome night. I love y'all and I always enjoy y'all. Bye. Don't do that. You're too Sandra bestie. Thank you. Jean, bye. Amen. Thank y'all so much. Good night and amen, Jean. And get you some sleep. Yes, get you some sleep. And thank you, thank you, thank you.